Hi, Grandma Debbie here. Okay, so school is out, and sometimes we wonder what are we supposed to do with our kids now that school's out? What kind of activities are we going to do with them? So there's lots of different things that you can do with your kids. We used to sign our kids up at local community center for various activities. They would do tennis and swimming and dance and fun activities. And so we would try to pack their days that way. We also would take a vacation during the summer, a family vacation. And but one of the things, though, that we did was we tried to get them to interact at home as much as possible, doing some fun things. One of the things that our kids used to love to do during the summer was, with all the other neighborhood kids, was they would run from yard to yard when the sprinklers would come on. They'd put on their bathing suits or they'd go in their shorts, whatever. And so they'd run from yard to yard having a great time. Then they'd end up at somebody's house eating popsicles out on the driveway. And it was just a fun time. But also, though, during this time, we tried to emphasize doing some cooking with them, because cooking, first off, helps you learn a little bit. You have to read. We would make them pick out the recipes they wanted to do. They would go through the pantry to see if they had things, and then they'd make a shopping list. We'd go to the grocery store. So they had to learn how to do those things. Also, though, they learned measurements. They didn't know they were learning, but they were. And so I'm going to encourage you, do some cooking with your kids. There's some easy recipes. So one of the things that we had was we had this cookbook, Better Homes and Garden New Junior Cookbook. It's a bazillion years old because my kids are grown. But it has some fun little recipes. So I thought I would do some of the recipes. I'm going to do them in a 1 or 2 part series for you, but I'm just going to do a couple at a time, and so it's nothing overwhelming. But these are fun, simple little recipes that you can do with your kids, or you can just do if you want to do them on your own. So the first one we're going to do is we're doing an applesauce breakfast cake, and this is a delicious recipe, so we're going to get started. Okay, so I'm preheating my oven to 350. I have an 8x2 casserole dish that I'm going to spray with some cooking spray. Now the recipe, this is how old it is. It says to use shortening, but we're going to use cooking spray instead. So I've got that set off to the side. Now we're going to do the next step. We're going to make a topping for it. So we're going to put up some brown sugar, and let me see how much brown sugar I'm going to need. I need a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So I'm going to put that right there for right now. Grab my brown sugar. My brown sugar is a little bit on the, oops, I'm making all kinds of noise today. It's kind of hard for some reason. So let me mush it up here a little bit. You probably get this in there. Got another clump there. Okay, so you're going to put this in a small bowl because we're doing the topping for this. So we're going to do brown sugar, and then we're going to do butter. We're going to do a tablespoon of butter. And then, let's see. And then we're going to do our cinnamon. We're doing 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Okay, and then we're going to mix this up. And you can use your hands to do this. I am not. I'm just going to use a spoon. You want it to kind of be a little crumbly. You don't want it like soft and smooth. Okay, and then we're going to add nuts. Now it calls for pecans, or pecans, however you say them. I thought I had some. I do not. And so I'm substituting with peanuts. I don't even have any walnuts, which is another great alternative. Okay, so we're going to move this off to the side, and then we will come back to it. Okay, so in a larger bowl, we are going to add flour. So we're going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, once again, all these recipes you can do with the kids. They would probably love to get their hands into that mix with the brown sugar and stuff. But okay, so I've got the flour in there. And now we're going to add sugar. We're going to add, I don't know, 1/3 cup of sugar. And you're using the white sugar for this. And then we're going to add in baking powder and baking soda, and we're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I think it's 1/2 teaspoon. Yes, it is. And then we're going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're going to add in salt. So we're just going to do a dash of salt. And then we're going to mix this. Mix it all up. Okay. And now we're going to, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna add an egg, but we're gonna beat it first. Okay, so we're gonna beat the egg first. All right, and then we're gonna add this. No, I'm sorry, we're gonna add the applesauce. So we're gonna use 1/2 cup of applesauce, and you want to use the unsweetened. And you would think I would remember how much one container contains, but I don't. And I believe it is 1/2 cup. And I threw away the package that would tell you, because, you know, why would I keep that, right? Okay, so we're going to add that to the egg mixture. And then we're going to add in, oil, cooking oil. We need 1/4 cup of oil. So I'm just using vegetable oil. Okay. And vanilla. We're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. See, not a lot of ingredients, real simple. Kids can do this. Okay, then we're going to mix this up. And I'm going to make a mess. Okay, then we're going to add it to our flour mixture. And we're going to stir this all together. And I'm going to grab a little spatula. Okay, so now that we've gotten all this done, we're going to pour this into the greased pan. I'm going to... So let's move this over. And let's just dump. Let's spread this out. Get it all nice and even. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to sprinkle the topping over the batter. So remember our topping. So we're just going to kind of sprinkle it over. Well, I'm going to clump it, apparently, is what I'm going to do. Okay, now we're going to put this in the oven, and we're going to bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so I will bring you back when it's finished baking. Okay, so I just got it out of the oven. It ended up cooking for 25 minutes. And so now we're going to let it cool for 15 minutes, cut into it, and enjoy a piece of this. I can't wait to try it. All right, so I'm going to bring you back a little bit later for the next recipe. Okay, so we're now going to make a snack. So we're going to make a peanut butter rolled up, I don't even know what you'd call it. I guess a roll-up, I guess, in a tortilla shell. And we're also going to be putting some sunflower seeds on it. So, and then we'll eat it as a snack. All right, let's get going. Okay, so I have a flour shell, and it's pretty pliable. And I have some peanut butter. I'm using creamy, but you can use whatever kind of peanut butter you want to use. And we're just going to spread it out. You could probably even get away with using Nutella if you wanted to, or just anything you want to do. You could use almond butter. You can also use cream cheese on this if you don't want to do peanut butter, and put some everything bagel on it. Seasoning, that would be good. Okay, so we've got our shell done, and I've just got peanut butter all over me myself. Okay, got that done. And now we're just going to sprinkle on a few little of the seeds. You can sprinkle as much as you want or as little as you want. You could even do, if you don't want to put sunflower seeds on here, you could probably even get away with doing some M&Ms or chocolate, whatever. And then we're just going to roll it up. And now we have the perfect snack. Okay, so I will bring you around for the next recipe. Okay, so we're on to our next recipe, and we're having this for dinner. It's called tadpole-in-a-hole. That's not a fun name. I think kids would love it, you know. Walk around going, we're making tadpoles. So it's just something fun. But it's a fairly simple recipe, and so let's get going on it. Okay, so I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees. I'm going to spray my casserole dish, and I'm using an 8-inch casserole dish. So I'm going to spray it with some cooking spray. The recipe says to use shortening, but I'm using cooking spray instead. Okay, and then we're going to move this off to the side and let it sit. And okay, so now what we're going to do, I need to get an egg. I forgot it. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I've turned on my oven to 400 degrees, letting it warm up. We've greased our casserole dish, and now we're going to put our egg in the bowl. And we're just using one egg. And we're going to kind of mix this up. Okay, and then we're going to add in a can of corn. Now, I'm not a fan of canned corn, but it needs the liquid that comes from canned corn. I prefer frozen, but frozen doesn't always come with liquid. So we're using canned. You're not going to drain the liquid off. You're just going to dump it in there. We're going to mix this up. All right, so we've got that done. And now we're going to take dry muffin mix. And I'm just using Jiffy. And we're going to add this in there as well. See how simple this is? Your kid could easily do this. Just dump. And now we're going to mix. Oh, and I forgot to add the cheese. So you're going to have a cup of cheese. I have a little more than a cup here, I'm pretty sure. And you're going to use about half of it right now. Okay, and then we're going to take it and we're going to pour it into our pan. How simple, right? We're going to kind of spread it out a little bit. Try and get all the goodies out of there. Okay, so we've done that. Then we are going to, I'm going to scrape it too. Make for sure we get all of it out of there. Okay, I got most of it. That's good enough. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to get our sausage links. So I'm using beef Little Smokies, and I'm going to open them up. Maybe. Okay, so now that we have this open, we're going to take and we're going to set them in here every few inches apart. Okay, so we've got quite a few in there. I think I might add like a couple more. Why not? Okay, that should be enough. All right, so we're going to get this into the oven and we're going to cook it for 30 minutes. So I will bring you back in 30 minutes. Okay, so I just got it out of the oven. It's nice and hot. And so we're going to add the rest of our cheese. We're just going to sprinkle it over the top. And then it's going to melt and make it all delicious. Okay, so I've turned the oven off, but I am going to go ahead and put this back in the oven just to kind of get it to melt. And I will show you what it looks like when it's done. So I want to thank you for coming along with me on this adventure. As I said earlier today, got tons more children's recipes, so I'm going to do them periodically throughout the next couple months of the summer so that you can have them whenever you want to do them. If you want to do them, whatever, it's up to you. But cooking with our children really, truly is a lot of fun, and I'm really going to encourage you to do it. All right, well, I hope that everything's going great for you. You're having an amazing day, and that things are going wonderful for you. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.